what's up, It's your nephew, L.A. Mars. We gonna do it one time for the people like this. Race Corner Live, Race Corner Live. Never be surprised that Ray is on the rise. Never be a fool, take it from the rise. Instagram, Facebook, Ray is going live. From Canada across the world, you can see that he's beneficial. Never the same topics, he's speaking on different issues. Preaching at different churches and speaking at different venues. Ray is that living proof that Jesus is really with you. Controversial issues, he gon' talk about it. Without Ray's Corner Live, hear his thoughts about it. If you ain't tuning in, just know you tripping, homie. This ain't all about religion, it's the wisdom, homie. And the vision, homie. It was written, but sometimes you gotta listen just so you complete the mission, homie. Ray's Corner Live, he got a testimony. I just thank God he got these blessings for me. For real. I learned not to even mess with phonies. Never. Ray's Corner Live, he got a message for me. I said a message for me. Ray's Corner Live, he got a message for me. Ray's Corner Live, Ray's Corner Live. Never be surprised that Ray is on the rise. Never be a fool, take it from the rise. Instagram, Facebook, Ray is going live. Ray's Corner Live, Ray's Corner Live. Never be surprised, Ray is on the rise. God is on our side, so we gon' survive. God is on our side, so we gon' survive.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is Guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. We're here right here. Y'all probably wonder where Coach G at. Coach G is in the doghouse. But if y'all want me to bring him in, I'll bring him in. But he's in the doghouse. I'm just going to let y'all know now. All right. Since y'all want him in, I'm going to let him in. So I just had to get some background stuff here. Because I don't know, man. I might have this music playing all day. Because Coach G, he's definitely in the doghouse. I ain't going to tell y'all why. But watch this. Welcome to Ray's Corner Live. Coming to you live all the way from here. We're here right here. I'm your guy, Ray Silk Wilk. And this is Coach G. What's up, y'all? What's up, dog?
Okay, just for real quick, like we got a good important topic to talk about tonight. I want everybody real quick just to pay attention. His camera's better than mine. His backdrop is better than mine. His microphone is better than mine. His headphones are better than mine. His glasses are better than mine. His hairline is better than mine. Yet he still chose to add extra punishment to me coming in to this. I already have all these other dudes. So I say that because all y'all like to sit up here and get on his side every time we have a podcast, as if he doesn't come in here already with enough advantage. Already with enough advantage. He got like another couple decades of experience on me that I just simply don't got. He always goes to a decade I've never done. I can't talk about the 50s. I can't talk about the 60s. I was barely around for the 70s. That's all. That's fine.
Well, look, listen. Let me tell y'all something. Listen, this is going to be a powerful topic today. Look, Coach G is in the house. That's my guy. He going to make it do what it do. And he does it real good. But listen, watch this. Give me 1 second. I want y'all to understand this. How does power and authority distort your calling? Listen. I know some of you are losing your calling. Not because the devil stopped you, but because the power distracted you. Yeah. I said it. It ain't got nothing to do with the devil. God called you to serve, but somewhere along the line, you started chasing the title. God anointed you to build, but authority made you want control. And now you operate in a position, but you're out of line. So tonight, we're going to talk about how power and authority, when mishandled, will destroy your calling. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. I'm going to say it, Coach G. Power doesn't reveal your gift. It reveals your heart. I'm going to say that again. Power doesn't reveal your gift. It reveals your heart. I've watched people get elevated and lose their humility. I watch leaders gain influence and lose their intimacy with God. I watched assignments die at the altar of ego. And if you think this message ain't for you because you're called, it might be for you especially. So if you're a leader, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in ministry, if God had trusted you with people, money, vision, and authority, this conversation might save your calling. Because God never anoints egos. He anoints obedience. Hey, Coach G, let's talk about it.
You know what's funny? Is we was coming into this call, and I was like, oh yeah, I think I want to be on this side, and he's going to say this, but I know how I'm going to be. But I just had some more thought, and I'm going to say some prayers, so don't either blame me, God, or Tourette's, either way, for what I'm going to say tonight. But I think there's some deeper issues regarding authority, power, and sex, particularly when it comes to the Black community. Like, here's the thing. I think there's a case where we can make this a very wide range topic. So real quick, guys, we got here tonight because I think some of you guys may have heard it's been a little quote unquote viral. There was a counselor out of Baton Rouge, right? He committed suicide. And the apparent reason for him committing suicide is because he had some inappropriate messages in communication that was found between him and a 14-year-old student, if I'm correct. And here's the thing, whether it's the Baton Rouge counselor, I believe Baton Rouge, sorry, that's everything New Orleans, but or Louisiana area. But whether it's about the counselor that's in the middle school or about the pastor or in the church, or we have the ditties, you know, of the top 1%, we see a repetitive pattern that is happening when, and I'm going to be I want to point the finger a lot tonight. Because people want to say, well, no, it could be something. We're not talking about everybody else right now. It's a very repetitive pattern that happens when Black men get into any position of power or authority, and the translation that has to sex. Now, I think there's a lot of ways to approach that. And definitely a spiritual way to approach it. You can definitely look at it from the space of just, what's the word? Therapeutically, we can diagnose it. But how do we stop it? Like, what is it about enough for us to be able to say to our young Black men growing up? Because right now, the narrative is either saying one of two things. Either A, don't become this person of power and influence that can be able to impact and change so many people's lives. Like, that's what power and authority allows you to do. It allows you to be able to impact and change people's lives, ideally for the better, right? Or do we accept the fact that, you know what, this is kind of par for the course? You know, I've even heard this in certain spaces just around someone's income level. Like, if someone if a guy makes a certain amount of money, it should be automatically assumed that he's going to have affairs and cheat on his wife. You know, when the whole Diddy conversation came out, it said, well, no. It's like, that's what happens. Like, it gets to a point where you make so much money that you just run out of these sexual options. But I think my question goes before a lot of that, in that either A, what was the intentions behind any aspiration power, influence, and authority? Or B, what were you masking in your pursuit of power, influence, and authority? You know, one of the other things we see that also connects with a lot of these men, and I don't know the guy that we referenced in the beginning personally or from a space of, from a therapeutic space. I don't know if he has a history of any type of abuse in any capacity. But we definitely saw that it came out that, hey, that is a aspect of Diddy's past. Like, there was significant abuse that he experienced in a lot of different ways in his past. So it almost leads me to wonder that when I see a lot of these, and we promote a lot of this, when you think about it a lot, we promote a lot of this in our inner city communities. And so my thinking is, are we promoting this now more so as a way of masking whatever trauma that doesn't get dealt with? Or are we just creating this fertile ground now because power and influence automatically means that you're going to run into this area of deceit, particularly when it comes to sex? Who you want to say is wrong right now so we can go ahead and get this over with?
Listen, I agree. So my thing is like, how did we get here? You know what I'm saying? Because, and here's the thing, right? Power and authority is something we never had. Let's go back 50s, 60s, 70s. I mean, that power and authority to that magnitude, very few had. So when you get to that place,
wait a minute. I have a question. I'm sorry. Got a question. Because everybody here done seen Django. We all done seen Django. Django might have been fictional, but Samuel L. Jackson's character was a real person in these plantations. You had the one. That's why that's how they ended up learning how to show the division between us. Like, we can't say we've never experienced power and authority on a particular level because we can only go to the ceiling that we know.
No,
so even from that,
you're coming from a different perspective.
Slavery,
I'm not coming from that perspective.
I'm sorry. I'm loud and wrong. I'm loud and normally I'm just loud. Normally I am just loud.
Watch this. I said very few of us understood that was in power and authority. And the ones that was in power and authority, what type of examples were they? And watch this. Most of the ones that was in power and authority in the 60s and 70s, that real authority that we seen in our neighborhood, right, was the kingpin dope boys, the number runners.
So wait a minute. Are you blaming something? Are you blaming the hood? Are you blaming the lack of civil rights leaders?
You gotta let me get to the point.
I'm loud and wrong again. I told y'all I had to rest.
See, because what I'm getting into is what example did I have from people with power and authority? Even if you go back to the slave part, what you were talking about, that slave guy that was in with power and authority, like, what was that example? What did that look like? And how many people wanted to like be like the slave guy, opposed to now, watch this, in the 60s, 70s, how many people wanted to be like that dope boy? How many people wanted to be like Bumpy Johnson, Frank Lucas? You see what I'm saying? So there was an era that the only way we knew how to deal with power and authority was based on what we seen in our hood. Now, mind you, I'm talking about there were other people with power and authority that lived in the area, came from where we came from, moved out, but we never really got to see how they interacted with their power and authority. Well, we did. They left us. Okay. I'm waiting.
This is
okay. I'm gonna keep going then.
The moment when he's gonna start yelling at me right here. And just give everybody fair warning. So, based on what you just said, is in that our views of power and authority were both limited and came from a more, say, inner city perspective. Is that correct?
It came from my lived experience.
All right, based on your lived experience.
Yes.
We'll keep a more narrow scope here, so let's not spread it.
Which can't be wrong.
We're just gonna stay with you.
Because I lived it.
So the inverse. Here's the problem. I think. So I want to be very clear. Like, I want to argue right now, but I'm not going to argue right now, because I sincerely respect what you just said, because there is strong evidence, and I am evidence of the fact of we are a product of what we see. However, the challenge that I'm presenting is because sometimes we don't always look at things in reverse. So because again, we're bringing this back to the root of connecting power, authority, and influence. And I'm gonna be real. I'm again keeping some narrow sights here. Power, authority, and influence of Black men, and how that translates into how they're responding sexually. So that means by what you have just now shared with us, which I think helps.
Portion, because wait. You gotta remember a portion of what I shared, because it never got to the sex part because you didn't let me get there. But go ahead. I'm gonna wait till you say what you gotta say, and then I'm gonna kill you.
So, all right, great. So get a better question. Better question.
We'll be killing myself sometimes.
How are we drawing this connecting line then in these different? So even if we stay in that environment, because in that space you are, if I have to include myself in that, right, then I could say, while we lived somewhat of a different experience, and I didn't have necessarily, say, the Doughboys as my experience or my vision of what power, authority, and influence was, right? My dad was in that capacity of, like, when we talk about power, authority, influence, my dad was the biggest authority that I knew growing up for the better part of my life. Like, at the end of the day, he was the dude that was with my dad. Right? There was no other greater authority in my life than the person that's going to make me cry, like, and limit whatever access I had. So listening to you helped me to reflect and be like, oh, wow, well, that was his influence of what he got. And let me reflect on what that looked like for me. All right, boom, that connects to my dad. How else did I see this being displayed? Well, my dad definitely had his friends. He had his peers. I had uncles, like real uncles. We all had the fake uncles. All these different men that were around. And if we even had to expand that a bit, of course, there was the pastor of the church that we went to. So I'm just gathering, because I like what you're doing right now, is that you're bringing this to a very real space. We started this like, hey, this is everything from the Louisiana counselor to Diddy, but now we're making this a very real thing, because we got two Black men here right now who, listen, if we had to be real about it, neither one of us is turning down $1 billion. Like, it ain't happening. It ain't, like, we ain't doing it.
Don't have a clue what to do with it, but no.
We'll figure it out. $1 billion.
Maybe. But we might figure it out.
But
there's no guarantee.
I say that only because
you have $1 billion lottery people that are broke now.
This good brother here are in the space of wanting this authority, not necessarily authority, but we do want abundance. We do want prosperity, right? We do want something that transcends us generations, right? We do want to be able to impact others outside of our scope, outside of our own personal vision, with what it is that we're able to do through our own resources. That in and of itself means that we want to be people of authority, people of some type of power, people of some type of influence. But if the running script says, when Black men reach certain aspects of power, authority, and influence, they are off the sexual reservation, And by the way, this is something that impacts all races, but we're going to make this a little bit more direct tonight. I promise you this impacts every single other race. But we see this happening with us, then we need to be able to unpack what this looks like, even from our own maybe mistakes. But we need to be able to unpack what this looks like so that not only can we now be prepped for the abundance that God's bringing our way, but also help other men be prepped for the abundance God's going to bring your way. Like the reality is we see a couple, as consistent as we see the fall of these men from these levels, we see them being brought to these heights. So we know that something is happening that gets them there. And we know that sometimes it can be their own effort, it can be because of God, it can be because of blessings, timing, whatever it may be. But we do know that we're seeing more and more opportunities arise where Black men can now become more prominent in certain spaces, in certain roles. And even with the advent of just what social media is creating, we've seen tremendously more influencers being thrown around the world. But we need to get to this heart piece here that says, when we have somehow reached our field of power, and that's what I really think this is. That's why I think there's such a wide range of this, you know, between the counselor to the Diddy. And listen, if I could take a second, I want to make it even more personal. Let's take it just from the counselor to the pastor. Like, I think that's always the two big things in the Black community: go to church and go to school. I think every Black household gives the exact same script to their kids: go to church, go to school. But can I tell y'all, we are living in a place right now where about 50% of y'all pastors right now openly watch porn. We're in that community. That's where we are right now. We are living right now. We're seeing observed from 30 to about 40% of our pastors being involved in some type of illicit activity somehow related to sexual behavior. I'm here in Florida. We just saw a pastor, maybe within the last year or two, being found in a park soliciting young boys. So this is a real thing that's happening, not just in some space in the media. This is happening in people's backyards. When we look at just from counselors to just pastors, this isn't something just happening out in New York that seems so far away from people, because you got to be of a certain income range to even be impacted by these people.
How we get there? Listen, that's not the makeup of Black men. How did we get there to? How did we get here? You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at like an example of how someone handles power. So if I get back to my narrative, we knew once you got that power and authority doing it the way we got it, you got the women. And you got the women, and pretty much you got them do whatever you want. So now when you look at
so what does that represent then? Like, what does that mean when you say
that represents that we have never really been trained, or we never really have been taught how to really use power and authority in a positive manner, because we got the power through, and most of those cases, through illegal means. So if we got the power through illegal means, then that power is going to be corrupt, and the authority that we walk around in our community is going to be corrupt, and we're going to corrupt people. We're going to corrupt women. We're going to corrupt men, the boys. And when I say men and boys, that's only to the point where they try to be like us, not trying to get with them like it is now. So they looked at all these examples, and it just got deeper and deeper and deeper, right? To the point where when you listen to the rap music, it was all about getting the woman to do whatever you want them to do, with the power, with the drugs, with the money, with all those things, right? And then it started like going to a place beyond just women. Because if I got power and authority, and if I come to this place with power and authority, right? But I got it in a legitimate way, I still can't get the women the way like somebody else will get out. So I just lost my co-host for a second. I guess he'll.
Nah, you ain't lose me. I just didn't want my face being seen while you were still talking that talk.
So
that's all. I was trying to keep a straight face as long as I could.
So so when you look at this thing, right? So I got this power and authority. I can't on the legitimate side. I can't get the women because they want the other type of dude. And then some women are so much more mature than me. So where do you start looking then? Hence, man in Baton Rouge.
You finished?
Until you try to respond.
So it is respect. Because I don't want him yelling at me, y'all. I don't. You made that. I feel like your answer was both simplified, too simplistic, yet overly complicated. So here's what I mean, but I want to explain it though. I want to explain what I mean by that, right? Because the complicated part comes in when we start getting to this narrative of including the multiple distractions we have, the methods of obtaining power, how we've received it, how we've learned it, and then it becomes simplified because it's kept within a certain space and also within a certain realm. So I'm surprised actually, but no. When I look at this matter, because and for me, I have.
But let me ask you a quick question. That particular gentleman, do you think he had an issue getting mature women?
Okay.
I asked you a question. Yeah, you can answer it any way you want. You can premise. So you can do a backdrop to it. Get to the answer. However you want to get to it.
Had anything at all to do necessarily with women? I think that's probably where I'm going with this. Like, I want to be able to hope to try to be able to simplify and still simplify a little bit here, because I want to remove certain things. Because when we include certain things, I think it cloudies. It makes too many things too cloudy. It's almost like, how do we validate a fight that happens between a man and a woman, and then we start looking at both sides of the situation. This and that. There was a point in time when it was simply like, hey, look, it's just certain stuff you just don't do. Walk your ass out the house. Now, my point in this is that the way I would look at this particular matter is I want to take this back a little bit further. Not matter where you took it to. I would take this back further. Biblically, I look at two people when it comes to the matter of sex, power, and authority and influence. I look at Samson and I look at David. Now, here's the two things that I like about, here's a couple things I like about these two men that, in a sense, almost kind of speak or maybe counter or help simplify some pieces you mentioned. Because one of the things you mentioned was about, hey, if you get power the wrong way, well, then you got corrupt power, and corrupt power leads to corrupt outcomes. Well, both of them men got power from the one person that ain't ever been corrupt. They both got it from God himself. God gave Samson.
What two people you talking about?
Samson and David.
And you're saying that?
I'm saying that whatever power
they use their power corrupt.
No. What I'm saying, you mentioned earlier that there are people. Part of your argument was that when people learn power in a corrupt way or get power in a corrupt way, they respond in a corrupt way.
Did David get his power in a corrupt way?
So my point. Hold on. Can I finish my statement?
No.
I only mentioned one thing. You see, I told y'all if you have to get here. I told y'all it's coming. Now, both Samson and David received their power. That's the only point there. I didn't say how they were with the power. I didn't say how they acted with the power. I didn't say how they responded with the power. I said how they received their power.
They received it good or bad.
Came
and
from,
good, was it good or bad when they received it?
Good, absolutely.
Okay, so that takes away from what I said, because I said they received it wrongly. But go ahead. Watch this.
So now, for the men out there, here's the issue that you're going to have. Because listen, let's be very transparent. Can I talk to y'all like I really want to talk to y'all for a second? I get it. You get some money, you get a crib, you get a car, you get a couple pieces that'll come up and hey, let's throw it in there. You maybe even look good. You might actually be attractive. So you start getting a little bit of extra attention, and who knows? You look around and you might actually start being blessed. What I mean by you being blessed, I mean that, you know what, maybe you start attracting the right crowds around you. Maybe you start seeing yourself being promoted. Maybe you start seeing things happening around you in a very effortless way. And along that way, you are going to come across certain individuals, you're going to come across certain people. And in that time, you're going to find it very easy to negotiate everything that's happening around you. That's why I'm bringing this to a different space where things are a lot more simple and distractions were less present, but the behavior was exactly the same, because now it shows you that the behavior has been the control. Like this isn't about the environment of the individual. This isn't about you saying that, oh, because I live in a big city, or because listen, bro, I came from DC. It's Chocolate City for a reason. I get it. I'm in Florida right now. I get it. I want to remove the idea.
What you're saying is your environment plays no effect on you at all.
What I was
good or bad.
What I'm saying is the use of the excuse that because of my environment, that's why I'm doing A, B, and C. That's the piece that needs to be let go of. Am I saying that your environment isn't not going to have an influence on you? Absolutely, both ways. As easy as it is, we can see the doctor come out of the hood. We can see the gangbanger come out of the hood. We can see that there can be an influence or not an influence. My point that I'm trying to make is that when we're looking at this particular matter, and if we had to, and I want to make sure we don't minimize what it is we're talking about right now. And also because this is now a greater important space, to me, in that we want to make sure that we're developing healthy habits for Black men as they are growing into their space of success.
So let me so deception and lies, right? Watch this. If growing up in the projects, if what I'm looking at is healthy behavior to me, when I walk outside the projects and I'm in a quote unquote regular community or I'm in school with people that's not from the projects, right? Their environment looks different than mine. See, my normal environment, if you watch it, you watch me, what you looking at me for? You know what I'm saying? My environment says, if you look too long at somebody with, hey man, what you trying to rob me? So in saying that, my normalcy compared to someone outside of my environment normalcy is different. It looks different. See, the thing that can't change is lived experience. My lived experience says this. That is not wrong. Why? Because I lived it. So at some point, I had to realize some of my lived experience, or a lot of it, what I lived, was not the way God wanted me to live. But until I got to that point, I thought it was normal to do the things that I was doing. Hence, 20 years of drugs. Hence, homelessness. Hence, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So now, how did that authority and power mess with my calling? Because I used it in the wrong manner. I used my power to control people. I used my authority to get the things that God never intended for me to do, right? And it kept me from doing what God called me to do. Why? This way, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I was believing the lie. But I'm with you because until we replace it with the truth that you're talking about, we will continue to live the lie. Like our environment was the right way. The way I seized power was the right way. The way I saw power, how people wield power was the right way. Because even the people that were doing it right, the way they walked around with their authority and power. I had a friend whose parents had power and authority. We couldn't even come in their house. They had a nice house. We was from the project. Me and him, we played ball together. We walked back and forth to school. He could come up my house and come in my house, and my mom would feed him and this and that. I couldn't even step on his front porch. I'm just saying. So I looked at that type of power like, man, I don't want that. Because I seen the other boys, they doing their crazy, but hey man, here, go take that $1. Go get you something. Get out there on that basketball court. You get 10 points today, I'm gonna give you $2. Which authority do you think I'm just gonna follow? I'm just saying. I like it when he get that face. Now, I'm going to be quiet for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to let you get it all out.
I'm just curious, how long do I got to stare at you before you decide to pop off at me? Because that's what your environment taught you, right? I've been staring at you for, I'm just curious, like how long is it? I'm curious what your environment has taught you. Let's learn some more about what your environment has taught you, because I'm just eyeballing you
my environment. Like,
when you gonna start swinging on me? I'm just like, how much time?
My environment taught you to let you get out the doghouse.
Is it more time?
So I can hit you with the newspaper on your nose.
Oh, okay. So wait. When did you start allowing more time? When did your environment say, at this age, you can give more time to people to look at you before you decide to swing and go off on them because of your environment? Because of your environment.
When I got them 3 5-year sentences.
And how long ago was that?
That was over 30 years ago. I learned my lesson.
No, hold on, no. Bam. So now we can go from here 30 years ago right now. Oh, he loved being saved by the bell.
Hold on a second.
He loved being saved by the bell.
Hello? Hey, look, I have to call you back because if you go to YouTube, I'm on my Ray's Corner Live right now. And all these people here, I didn't say your name, but all these, I seen you. I definitely got to talk to you. And my co-host, it was trying to get on me. Actually saved me from whatever he was going to say. But I'm going to call you as soon as I get off of Ray's Corner Live. But if I was you, I would go to YouTube, Ray's Corner Live, right?
Nah, don't do it.
Don't do it. Double team this guy.
You don't want to see him like this.
All right? Ray's Corner Live.
Wow.
All right. Bye.
So 30 years ago,
over 30 years. Okay.
You still didn't think, like, how long did you wait for people? Like, what was the time frame 30 years ago or over when you said, hey, you look at me for this amount of time, I'm popping off on you? I'm just curious. How much time?
What you mean? I don't
What's that? How long can someone stare at you 30 years ago before you went off on them?
Oh, I stopped going off on him.
No, that was 30 years ago though. We're here. We're not up here.
That's when I
We're
stopped.
here.
That's when I stopped 30 years ago.
Okay, let's go 35 then. How long?
How long what? Oh, you mean when I was out there before I turned?
Yeah, you said.
How long could somebody stare at me?
Exactly.
Well, this was my
because
favorite.
of your environment. You've been
So,
in this environment.
I'm going to tell you. So I would stare back at them, and they would say, "What you staring at?" I said, "Well, you wouldn't know if I was staring at you if you wasn't staring at me."
Okay, so that was what, 35 years ago? 40 years ago?
I was in my 20s and.
So you was in your 20s. That was what, 40
teenagers.
years ago?
Well, I'm 67, bro.
Okay, cool. So all right, bam, 67. You was in your 20s. We'll round it out for 40 years. Now let's go 50 years. When you say let's say you're a teenager, 13. How long can someone stare at you?
As long as
before you popped off?
I never did that because I was sneaky.
Because you were sneaky.
Yeah.
Was you sneaky or was you scared? Because the rule of being
I started being scared at the beginning until after I had to stand up, and my cousin used to take up for me so nobody could mess with me. And then when I started boxing, it was a whole different
Here's what just happened with this man in his advocation of the freaking environment, which is why I'm trying to take y'all to places where none of these distractions actually exist. Because in his environment did not just teach him, if you stare at me long enough, then I gotta pop off. No, first his environment taught him, oh, I'm a little bit fearful if you're looking at me like that. Then his environment.
No.
Look, you can go back and say all you want to say right now, but I let him talk. I asked him the question. His environment taught him to be fearful at first. Then his environment taught him to be sneaky. Then his environment taught him to pop off. Then his environment taught him to get into a verbal back and forth argument. You looked at me first. You were not looking at you. You were looking at me. Why you looking at me? I'm looking at you. You looking at me. You looking at me. Why you looking at me? I'm looking at you. You looking at me. He went through all that kind of stuff. Then his environment taught him that, Then his environment taught him, wait a minute, I might want to actually act better in this same environment. Then his environment taught him, oh wow, I can actually come back to the same environment and help other people. It's the exact same environment. So this has nothing to do about the environment when we see the change of the individual, because the individual shifted. The individual changed. So the point that I'm trying to really get to y'all about this right now is that the decisions that we're making has less to do about what we've been holding on to. We've been holding on to our environment. We've been holding on to even some of the false leadership that we have around us, the false people of authority. We hold on to these false examples as somehow being the type of validation we need for the mistakes that are around us. And let's be honest, the mistakes that we keep perpetrating. Like, let's be frank, some of y'all got churches out here where y'all know your pastor did some things and y'all still sending y'all babies to the same churches. Like, some of us are perpetuating some of the same behaviors we need to help getting rid of out of our communities right now. But the real reason, we take this back to Samson, we take this back to David. What we're really understanding right now is that power, authority, and influence will actually expose. Now, every single person of power and influence, authority, and influence, biblically and throughout time, has not been a pedophile. Every single person throughout the history of time has been a person of power, influence, and authority, has not been an abuser. That's not the case. But we're definitely seeing a heck of a lot more showing up right now, particularly in the roles that are most directly impacting the families. Like, I don't care about what happens with Diddy, quite frankly. Like, he ain't impacting my family at all. He got his own family to deal with, and with other families in the 1% area of his life that he done impacted there. None of my kids went to a mansion. All 3 of my kids go to school. I would like all 3 of my kids to have a safe church. I would like all 3 of my kids to be able to go to environments within their own communities and be able to look up to individuals in their community, aspire to some aspect of them, and not have to fear them ever being taken advantage of to any degree. And for being clear, statistically, we're looking at almost 1 out of 3 youth within communities of color that are being somehow sexually abused or otherwise traumatized in these environments. So this is a real thing that's happening in a lot of our communities. And the only thing the environment is doing is providing the location. But men, we have to look at what is being exposed. Now, here's what I do like about what the Bible does show, is that there's always been some exposure of your heart along the way before you actually get the big thing. Like, God does find a way to point out little pieces of you. And so I don't even know the answer to this point to say, is it a matter of us being more aware of what our heart brings, or is it a matter of
so let me ask you this question.
To expose things. Go ahead.
Traditionally, is this what traditionally like black men were known for? Pedophile and sexually going after children? And if not, right, what has transpired that got them to this point to today? And you keep saying, watch this. You keep saying it has nothing. Wait, let me finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, because you gotta, so most men, right, that feel intimidated by black women, most men who can't deal with mature black women, right? Most men, and you're talking about a school teacher now. And that's why I asked you, did he have issues with mature women that
okay.
Let me finish. You got to hear this, because this like really makes real sense. And this is the reality. And this is like real true stuff, because those type of men always go after young girls. And we have to ask ourselves why. It had to come from somewhere. So if you don't realize that some type of environment that he was in, right, that even gave him the idea or the notion to believe that is better to deal and do something with a little girl than with a grown woman, it had to come from somewhere. And unless really understand where it came from, it's going to keep happening. And where it's coming from is you have these little boys in men's bodies with men ages that can't deal with grown women. Go ahead, you can respond.
So how did you account for the men that do this to their children? Their children, which means
same. Look, it's the same mentality.
Oh, but no, it can't be the same mentality, because they disputed it by getting with a woman.
You keep missing. It's coming from somewhere.
Okay, but again,
tell me where it's coming from. I gave you my thoughts where it came from. Where you think it's coming from?
That's good, but
I'm listening.
I'll take it a step. Well, I'm gonna take a bad step, because I don't even want to step anymore in this right now. But here's the first thing I'll do for this portion of the conversation. I'm going to, as much as I recognize the impact that I have spoken about and how this impacts families of color.
Oh, wait. I gotta say this. Wait. Hold on. I gotta go with this response.
He just said.
This is from, wait. I gotta let you say what the people saying. All right, this is from this is from, is this Mary? Yeah, this is from Mary. This is what Mary said. Mary said, listen, you gotta listen to your audience, sir.
I'm listening to, you ain't talking yet. Can you read what Mary said, please?
She says, that's a trait of men learned this type of abuse from Europeans. It sure didn't come from Africa. What's your response to that? Now, you play with me too much, I'll drop the link in there and tell Mary to come on here because Mary ain't nothing to play with now. So come on. So respond to what she said.
This is a rabbit hole. This conversation.
Listen to what she said. She said,
all right.
Hold on, let me say it again so you can respond. No. That's a trait our men learn this type of abuse from Europeans. It sure didn't come from Africa. Oh, I forgot. In between those two comments, she said, so true. Preach, Ray.
Hey, Mary, are you still there?
Yes, she is.
I'm still there, Mary. Mary, I got a couple questions for you, Mary. Mary, quite
Mary, if you want to come on, just say yes. I'm going to drop that link in there. You can jump on.
Mary,
okay, hold on. Wait. I got this. Watch this. I got you. Hold on. Wait.
I can't even answer a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you answer. Wait a second.
You only got like 4 minutes.
I'm gonna let you answer.
It's in a whole other different space right now.
All right, jump on that link right there, Mary. Oh boy, it's on like popcorn now. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Miss Mary to me. Or it might be, she might be saying that to you. Oh yeah, she's saying that to you. That's Miss Mary to you, bro. Now go ahead. You keep going.
I'm waiting on. Is she? Because we're gonna be on. Come on, Mary, be on your time.
Okay.
I waited on.
Wait. Hey, there she go. Hey, Mary, introduce yourself real quick. Let Coach G know who you are, and then he got some questions for you. Come on, tell him like it's is, and let her introduce herself first, bro. Come on.
Coach G, my name is Miriam Hennessy Loho, CEO and founder of Sister Hearts Inc. I am a prison traumatologist and decarceration expert, and spent almost 20 years in Nigeria, Africa. So, what you're talking about, my brother, son, that didn't. You can't even be sagacious in Africa, because Africans don't play that. And if you remember Abraham, the new leader over there, if you put on any kind of pedophile type of behaviors, you're getting castrated. So no, that kind of stuff did not come from Africans. African men are very caring and nurturing to their family, period. And that's a trait that the African Americans also have. All this learned behavior that you see our men doing today, that's just learned. They have to learn that.
Good Coach G. See, he gonna think I'm teaming.
You are absolutely right. I think that's always a great place to start, hey, you're right. Here's how I would challenge a good portion of that.
Okay.
And I will also use what the argument that Ray has already mentioned going into this communication.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you are absolutely right regarding dispensations and how you choose to communicate. Because you are absolutely right that in today's day and age, any aspects and views of pedophilia in any capacity for the better part is found to be abhorred and excluded in most parts of the civilized, quote unquote, globe, including many parts of Africa. And that's a fair statement, right? We on the same page so far?
Wait, did you say that it is in Africa? Say that again.
I said in that, like it's abhorred and excluded, like nobody dealing with it.
It's very abhorred.
In most parts of the civilized world, including Africa.
Yeah, it could be fake.
Right? Like we ain't looking at that, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
so we're on the same page so far, right?
Sure.
Okay, same page so far, right? Perfect. So that now that we're on the same page, the reason why I say that is absolutely a correct thing based on the dispensation in which we're communicating, because any level of research is going to be able to tell you what the marrying age looked like just in the Bible. It's a dispensation conversation. The rule was, hey, once a child is of marrying age, she's married and out the window. And biologically, just within certain dispensations. And that's why I'm trying to remove certain pieces from this that remove the responsibility of what it is that we're asked to do. So if you depend on what time frame you want to look at, well, then anything can become justified or invalidated. Now, the other argument that you made is that this is about this being such a very learned thing, but yet an earlier argument that Ray made is that it was strongly about the environment. Most of us ain't living in environments fully in surrounded by white people. We're simply not. Most of us are not living in environments where we are witnessing the sexual behavior
You get ready to get killed, brother.
of white men and white women and white households. Most of us ain't doing that. It's the reason Project's been around for a while. We've witnessed a lot of disenfranchised behaviors and activities that have taken place that have been done systemically to do what? Remove us from the very people that we want to actually should be learning from to be able to get ahead. Every advantage we done had is coming to found we done got some little sneaky secret from them. Whether it was home ownership, stocks, Bitcoin, crypto, therapy, whatever. We have spent centuries.
How old are you?
Hold on, can I finish my statement?
How old are you?
I'm 47.
How old you are?
47.
Well, I have children.
So we have. I appreciate that. I count myself blessed in that. So, but hold on. Let me just finish. I gave you both. I think I gave you a fair chance. I didn't interrupt you.
That's your guess. You gotta let
I think
your
it's
guess
second.
talk.
I didn't interrupt you.
You
My final point. I'm gonna close it out. I will let you have the floor. But we are holding on to pieces that are lessening the areas of where we actually need to be held accountable. If we are making this about the simple fact that I grew up in this neighborhood and about the fact that white folks have been doing this and we learned it from white folks, and that's why black men are out here moving into positions of authority, power, and influence and deviating within their own sexual behavior, and we're simply reducing that to a matter of environment and saying we learned it from white folks. We are not making this a matter that can actually be done by black men. That's not something we can attack. We can't always control environment, and Lord have mercy, we don't know what we got to do to sit up here and get deprogrammed from white folks and did to us. So to simply relegate the matter at hand, specifically this matter about why are so many black men who are given positions of power, influence, and authority deviating in their sexual behavior. We can't pass the buck and sit up here and say, well, it's because of the bad city planning and because white folks done screwed us over. Okay, now I'm done. It's 9 o'clock, by the way, but go ahead.
You used the word that I want to bring back to you. You said we have to pass the buck. Well, even though I know that you're not aware, so I'm not going to hold it against you, but that comes in reference to busting.
Buck training. Slavery.
Okay, busting. Slavery. And because your wisdom far exceeds your age, I know that you know what buck busting is. Am I not correct?
You are absolutely correct.
Okay. So with that in mind, I want to put this on the table. Our men, as African Americans, our men have been publicly violated since slavery. And so when your child grows up seeing the master sodomize a 14-year-old or a 12-year-old, you get raised seeing these things, and it becomes normal. Okay, it becomes normal. I remember when I was growing up, there was a man, his name was Mr. Sylvester Tate, and he had a house full of daughters, and he would beat the crap out of his wife, and he was sexually abusing his daughters. Okay, and it was kept hush hush, but eventually his son got older, and that son lit into him because his DNA and everything in his instinct, we know that is not correct. You know that when a man would prefer a child to a grown adult, whether it be a woman or whether it be a man, because I want you to know, I was in prison with women. She was European, and she was molesting or raping her student, and she was in prison for that. Okay? So a lot of our behavior, they are learned. They are learned behavior. You are respectful. Where did you learn that from? Who taught you to be respectful? Who taught you to be so masculine? Who taught you to embrace your masculinity and your masculine energy? Who taught you never to compete against feminine energy? Because to do so would put you in a feminine category, and you're too masculine for that. Is that not correct?
You asked about questions to close that
out.
Out.
Just the last one.
You just want to focus on the last one or the three?
Just say yes or no. Yes.
What I will say is thank you very much for the compliments. Truly appreciate it.
Now let me say this because we got to get ready. We got to get ready to go. We're gonna get ready.
I had no problem playing I came into this doing the agreeing game.
Let me say this, and we're gonna get married back on here again. But hold on.
I'm gonna get this out.
Wait, no. Wait, I don't listen to you. Listen. Just listen. I'm getting ready to show you something. I'm getting ready. Listen.
We have been learned. I'm gonna keep talking until this get out. Until you talk about environment, I hear you about your environment.
Get it out. Hurry up, so we over time. But get it out.
What keeps being overlooked in each part of your argument. Because we can either make this about the outliers that are existing, that happen in both spaces, or we can become more solution oriented. So the reality now is that if you're making the argument that it's about the influence of the environment and or it's about the influence of learned behavior from an entirely different culture, then answer the question as to how much time.
Let me help you.
Because if we can't make the decision now to say we got to hold them more accountable with dismissing these parts so that we're not getting clouded by it, then how much time do we give Black men in the community, Black men who have learned whatever they've learned from white men through however many generations and decades? Y'all gonna have me sound like the most MAGA man on this platform ever right now. Because I mean, golly, like I'm really saying right now, like, what do we want to let some of this stuff go?
Let me help.
I'm sorry. I ain't got bent over by nobody's table and prostrate in front of a group of white men. The whole idea of
I need you to listen to this real quick.
That means to go because you are actually being spread wide eagle in front of a room on display for people. That is not even a thing.
Now, watch this. Watch this.
We're precifying some Black men out here right now.
See now,
spread me out for the massa right now.
Okay, so you're not gonna let me speak, right? You're not gonna let me speak. That's becoming very disrespectful.
We don't
you're not gonna let me speak
as a whole happening anymore. How
So I'm
long
gonna wait till you're done because we way over time.
They learned this
right?
from NASA, and we got to be more easy on our babies. And what happened to the outliers? And then every time we do come across a fairly decent black man, it has to somehow now be attributed to the fact that, well, look at what happened for you. So that must be the cure and the answer for everyone else. No, for me to answer the question, to actually answer her question, therapy.
See, I had to mute you.
Wait a minute. You say therapy?
No, let me answer.
No.
We got to get ready to get
When
off.
you say therapy.
I had to mute him. Now let me bring him back.
In my recovery than I did.
Really,
you muted me? You really muted me?
Yeah, because I let you speak. You got to listen to this, right? Because we got to get ready to get off. You said, this is what you said. Then remember, you said we didn't live around white folks, right? And all that stuff, right? Let me share something with you. When we were younger, we used to find these Playboy books. And it would be all white women. We would have these nudie cards. It was all white women. What? You gotta listen, sir. You gotta listen. Listen. Are you talking about? I'm telling you about learned behavior, right? Pornographic things
right here.
was all white. We learned certain things from pornographic things that was all white folks. Now, I'm gonna let Mary say something. I'm gonna let you say something, then we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, I had to admit you for the only 30 seconds because but you was feeling that. I love you. That's my guy. Mary, this is my guy. But go ahead, Mary. Finish off and we're gonna get out of here.
Well, Mr. Sir, I would love to invite you to my live on Facebook tomorrow. It's about prison trauma, and it's intense because it's about prison trauma and the compulsion loop, and these are all programs that I've written myself. But the thing of it is this: when you yourself, as an authoritative person, you must understand that your light is extremely important to shine on our people that's in the dark. Because see, everyone is not as strong-willed as you are. And a lot of them have willingly reduced themselves to slaves by going to prison. And then they brought that programming out here into the community and has infiltrated our environments. So no, maybe the white man didn't just come into the environment itself, but he programmed enough of us from prison to bring his habitual behaviors into our community. That's it.
So she invited you somewhere, so I didn't hear your response.
One.
Oh, it's a prison trauma. Yeah.
No, I think you said Facebook Live, prison trauma, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow at 7:00. Yeah. And we're going to be talking about the compulsion loop, why we're so compulsive. Yeah.
Oh, how long is your live?
I'll tell you what.
Can we just exchange information? I tell you what. Number one, sure. I have. We'll discuss the particulars a little bit later. But short answer. I am honored and thank you. Thank you. I would love to be a part of it.
Well, once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Ray's Corner Live. We have Mary. Let people know how they can contact you real quick and what you've been doing real quick, because that's my people right there. She just knocked Coach G out the box.
No.
Y'all have a great one.
He was humble.
Hold on, wait, Coach G.
She was awesome, even though she was yelling at me.
Great, let her get her stuff out.
So hostile.
Go ahead, Mary.
No, it's most people demand respect, and so what you were doing, Mr. Sir, was demanding respect. You see, I don't demand, I command. There's a difference.
Oh, look,
does that make sense to you? Okay, so you can reach me at sister.org. That's my website, Sister Hearts Thrift Store, or just pull up Sister Hearts, and everything that falls under that category is me. So like the young people say, just Google me, baby.
Go ahead, Coach G. What you got to say? Last words. Get it in, Coach G. That's my guy, Coach G. Hold on, you was muted. Wait,
your mic is off.
He did that on purpose. I didn't do that. I didn't do nothing. That's what he did.
Get your last words, Coach G.
See y'all later, brothers.
Listen, welcome to Race Corner Live, coming to you live all the way from here. We're here right here where things is popping, jumping. We had a nice time out here. And listen, like we always say at Race Corner Live, God loves you and I love you. And guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it.
You are about to go eat some humble pie. Meow. Meow. What my baby doing? Meow. 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 Let's see if we got any kind of thing going on. Look at that. She looks okay. Wait a minute. That's just duck butter. That ain't nothing. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything that is. No. Don't see anything around the little face.